Take a deep breath, shoulders back, belly in. It's snippet time. Welcome to Sobriety Snippets for Women Over 40, where we elevate our mindset and trade hangovers for higher consciousness, one powerful snippet at a time. I'm Becca Jacobson, and we have arrived at Friday, the end of a week off of Becca's bookshelf as we look at Creative Visualization by Shakti Gawain. This thin little book, 125 pages, packed with practice. That's what I love about it. It's a little bit of theory and a whole bunch of practice, which is exactly what I'm trying to get us to do here in Snippet Land. Go from surface dwelling to digging in, finding something that appeals to your heart, putting it into practice until you feel the results, until you can say from experience, you know what? That works. Or you know what? That doesn't work. And I know because I tried it. Gals, what we've really been doing this week is working on convincing you. Here's been my evil plan all along. Working on convincing you to approach this life with more joy, enthusiasm, and even anticipation. Instead of dread, we can learn to switch the channel to, you know what? Maybe this is the journey I need, the new thing that I need in my life. Maybe this is what I've been missing all along is this alcohol-free life. If we could change our dread to anticipation, oh man, what a difference. What a difference that will make in your journey. As I think back on that, to the beginning of my alcohol-free journey, 2018, 19, it was so messy. I was so lonely, so confused, couldn't find anyone to support me in the way I needed to be supported. I mean, there was support there, it just wasn't for me. And if only someone would have suggested this. If someone would have just said, Becca, why don't you consider the fact that you might be about to embark on the most amazing chapter of your life so far? Why don't you consider that maybe it's going to be a little scary at first, but you're about to feel better than you've ever felt? No one said that to me, and I don't know if I would have believed them because, to be honest, I couldn't really imagine life without alcohol. I might have. I might have believed them, and damn, I sure would have been nice to hear that. And so I'm saying that to you. I'm here to say that to you. That's what I have over here in my back pocket for you, meaning it's why the snippets exist. Not just to convince you, though, but to get you to experience it, of course, because that's why we talk about surface dwelling, isn't it? So that's what I love about this book. I go to Becca's bookshelf. I look at what can I take off of this proverbial bookshelf because it's lives in Amazon and in my house, but you get my point. What can I take down off a bookshelf? What can we take off the page and put into practice in Snippet Land to make a difference in my gals' lives? Because each and every one of you I think of as my gal. If you're hearing my voice, you're one of my gals and I care about you. So let's get excited. Today we're doing practice, 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 which means I'm going to give you from this book by Shakti Gawain, published in 1979, called Creative Visualization. This is one that I would actually encourage you to invest in if you haven't. Some of the other books we've done here on the show, it's, well, buy it, don't buy it. It was very cool talking about it. I know that we got some great ideas out of it. But this one is one that I think you could take with you and look at over and over again because it's so practical. So we've looked at the theory part. On Monday and Wednesday, we basically went through the theory, which she says she really does not waste our time on theory because the concept of visualization, using your imagination and changing your attitude towards your life, is really all that it's about. It's about seeing in your mind's eye, writing it in your journal, thinking about it, talking about it, what you want in a positive way in order to make it actually show up in your life. I'm not talking about trying to create something from nothing. I'm talking about getting your subconscious on board. That's what she's talking about, right? So we learned a couple of very important things on Monday and Wednesday. We already know that this is an emotional journey because we talk about it all the time here. Knowing that our emotions are energy and that energy is magnetic, we learn that whatever we put out there is going to come back. What does this mean for us on this journey in plain English for us? It means that if we are living in fear, we're going to attract situations and people into our lives that create fear. Anxiety is very magnetic. If you wake up feeling anxious, you are going to encounter situations all day long that make you anxious. It is just the way this works. If you are enthusiastic about your future, joyous, peaceful, calm, confident in your direction, and practicing, you're going to attract into your life situations and people that will support you in those same ways. That's how it works. And it's hard to understand how and why. And that is why we want to practice instead of just talk about it all day long. So we can see for ourselves that this works. I've proven it to myself over and over and over again. I could give you 1,000 examples of me changing my attitude towards something only to have the world reflect back to me that same changed attitude in the form of easier situations and what could have been difficult. It just goes on and on. You have to pay attention and you have to be willing to practice. So, Ms. Gawain, let's look at what she gives us in this book. Enough of me. Let's get to Ms. Gawain. Okay, from the contents, the table of contents, we're going to look at a few of these, but I want to go through and tell you what's available to you. She teaches in the beginning a simple exercise in creative visualization. She talks about how to relax. She teaches you how to relax. She teaches how to visualize. And then she gets to this one that we're going to look at this one 4 basic steps for effective creative visualization. We'll look at that in one moment. But before we do, let me continue this list because this is a list of things you can try. That's why I'm reading it. She teaches meditations and affirmations, grounding, opening your energy centers. She talks about creating your sanctuary, and we talk about that a lot here too. I ask all my gals to consider having a sacred space or sacred sanctuary. She talks about healing, invocations, and ways to use affirmations. She talks about journaling and writing affirmations instead of just saying them. She talks about setting goals, how to do treasure maps, how to increase health and beauty. She even talks about how to use creative visualization in groups. And she talks about, my dears, how to discover your higher purpose. There's a lot in here, and all of it is described and explained step by step. If any of those jumped out at you, some of them might have, some maybe not. But if any of them did and you're interested, I really encourage you to grab this book. Even if you use one chapter, it would be worthwhile. Practice whatever you choose for at least a month and see what happens. Okay, let's go to the chapter called 4 Basic Steps for Effective Creative Visualization. This is the foundational practice. And then from here, you can expand out into writing, journaling, all the other things that we already mentioned. So, step number 1 is set your goal. Okay? Decide something you would like to have. Now, listen, gals, we've already got that, right? I mean, you're listening to my voice. Your goal is to live without alcohol, is to put alcohol aside, is to say, I'm going to find out how to create a life that doesn't include alcohol. The goal is to not even want alcohol, to not have to think about it. It's just a non-issue. That's the goal. I encourage you to have a goal that clear. It's not just, oh God, to not drink, hopefully somehow not drink. That is too vague. We want a very clear goal. Here's how she describes it. Since we're here, we all agree that that's our goal. Now, granted, here is what Ms. Gawain says, and I want to address this. She says this. At first, choose goals that are fairly easy for you to believe in, that you feel are possible to realize in the fairly near future. That way, you won't have to deal with too much negative resistance in yourself, and you can maximize your feelings of success as you are learning creative visualization. Gals, we got to talk about this. This is exactly and precisely why I decided to do this book, because it is so difficult for us to actually believe that we can do this. And I'm like, if that's half the battle, I think that's more than half the battle. I think it pretty much is the battle. Can I convince you that you can do this? So we approach, as I said, Monday and Wednesday, and here we come again, right? As we approach this journey with dread, and negativity, and I doubt it. I'll probably fail anyway. I've tried before and failed. And hey, listen, who can blame us? We have tried before and failed. How many times did I try to quit drinking? I don't know, 1,000, 2,000? No wonder we don't believe in this. No wonder we feel so negative towards it, right? But we have to have the courage and the energy to say, look, that's the past. This is today. This is different. I'm coming at this from a new angle. So our goal may not be easy to believe, but that is our goal. And I know it's your goal because you're here. That's step one. Number two, create a clear idea or picture. This is really important. Again, this is why I chose this book, because the picture or idea that we have of an alcohol-free life is one of like stress and anxiety and depression, just getting through every day wishing you could have a drink. Here's what Ms. Gawain says. Create an idea or mental picture of the object or situation exactly as you wanted. Exactly as you want it. Let me say that one again. Exactly as you want it. You should think of it in the present tense as already existing the way you want it to be. Now, listen, gals, if we're imagining our goal as something horrible, why do we expect to succeed? I mean, think about that. You imagine living alcohol free and that it's horrible, that you're not enjoying yourself at all, right? You're just wishing you could drink all day long. Well, you're not gonna accomplish that goal. That just makes sense, doesn't it? How can we expect to accomplish a goal we're dreading? So I need you to get a clear idea or picture of a life you wanna live. In fact, get a clear idea or picture of the best damn chapter of your life, because that's what we really are building. Step number three, focus on it often. Bring your idea or mental picture to mind often, both in quiet meditation periods and also casually throughout the day when you happen to think of it. In this way, it becomes an integrated part of your life. It becomes more of a reality for you, and you project it more successfully. Focus on it clearly, yet in a light, gentle way. It's important not to feel like you are striving too hard for it or putting an excessive amount of energy into it. All right. So, step number three, just think about it all day long. Whenever you can, think about it. Now, here's what's going to happen. Instead, your mind's going to revert back to dread. So, this is where the practice comes in. When you notice, oh, I'm dreading this again, or I'm negative again, or I'm expecting to fail again, flip the mind, flip the script. No, it isn't. I can do this. Create a little affirmation for yourself. I can live free. I'm resilient. I can do this. And then think of it often. Step number four, give it positive energy. Basically, step number four is what I've been talking about all week and why we're here. Number four, as you focus on your goal, think about it in a positive, encouraging way. Make strong, positive statements to yourself that it exists, that it has come or is now coming to you. See yourself receiving or achieving it. There it is, gals. The reason we looked at this book this week was right there in black and white. Ms. Gawain wrote it down for us. Think about it in a positive, encouraging way. That's what I wanted to give you this week in Snippet Land. Can you approach this journey in a different way? Can you change your attitude towards it? Can you believe that you can do it? Because if you can, you just made it way, way easier on yourself. And you made it way more likely that you're going to succeed. And the reason I want you practicing from this book, or some practice, stop surface dwelling, is because then you'll start to prove it to yourself and you won't have to just take my word for it. And that's why I've created the Fresh Start Foundations community. We are having our second weekly Zoom call today, as a matter of fact. This is a community of women just like you who are spending time in early sobriety, finding out what it's actually like to do this. This is not a place to meet to be perfect, to count sober days, and ultimately end up feeling like a failure. And that's a huge issue with a lot of groups that I was tossed into in early sobriety. We don't do that here. What I'm teaching you is how to survive the messiness of early sobriety, because it's messy. Alcohol is cunning. It's powerful. It's sneaky. And that means we get messy and then we think we're failures. So this is a place to keep showing up no matter how messy your journey is. I'm going to teach you how to get through the mess, past it, into stabilized sobriety, because the beginning of this journey is simply survival. And my dears, we need help to survive. Go to the show notes, tap the link, and come and join us in Fresh Start Foundations, and I will help you get through early sobriety and show you what it's like to build the best damn chapter of your life. Thanks for popping in. Be sure to come back next time so I can keep your head on straight. Sending you buckets of love.
Quality proteins aren't just for special occasions. With Omaha Steaks, you get mouth-watering proteins delivered right to your door, individually packaged and portioned, so a great dinner is just minutes away. From Taco Tuesday to a weekend feast, taste the Omaha Steaks difference. Start getting flavorful proteins delivered today. Visit omahasteaks.com and get $35 off with promo code AUDIO at checkout. That's omahasteaks.com, code AUDIO. Terms apply. See site for details.